AEW. Ralph, noted, he's going to disagree with me, noted AEW. I was going to say hater, but at the same point, I feel like you grade them pretty harshly, a little bit harsher than most, which is okay. A lot of people do.
No, I don't think I. There's accounts I'm dedicated to hate.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Twitter is wild, and some of the stuff I hear on Whatnot with some of these folks is crazy. AEW right now, entering a new era with their streaming deal on HBO Max. Do you feel like AEW's value is going to change at all with the new deal? Do you feel like things could start trending in a different direction now that they have this HBO Max deal? Because everyone's talking about, WWE Raw coming to Netflix. AEW now having a similar deal. Obviously, HBO's not as big as Netflix, but being able to now watch all the weekly shows live on HBO, watch all the back catalog, watch all the pay-per-views. Do you feel like this is going to help AEW moving forward?
No, not at all. But what is good, though, is at least now that they have the video library Max, the AEW fans can go back and watch it when it was good. That's a perk for the fan base. I don't think it does much for them at all. In fact, I think they're late to the game with having a video library where you can go and watch it.
Well,
I guess you'd have to build that video librry.
Yeah, I think that's kind of unfair. Because WWE has that would be like 70 years.
That would be unfair, but maybe even after 2 years, they had the entire ROH library they could have dumped on. I don't know. I don't see it doing much for them, because if you remember when WWE had the network, that was so groundbreaking because you didn't have to pay for PLEs anymore. It was just on there.
Right, yeah.
So, that's not something that AEW is doing. I think you're still doing your traditional pay-per-views.
They are still doing their traditional pay-per-views.
So, honestly, if you want to watch AEW, you go on YouTube and find clips and stuff and matches and whatever. So I don't know if it really does much for them. I guess maybe we'll get some more eyes on the product if they miss Dynamite and stuff, but,
I think in terms of improving the product, I don't know about that. I will say that there's a lot of people like me who would probably watch it more often if it was on HBO Max, just because it's easier. My godson, who's kind of into wrestling, if it was on Max, and he's in a younger demo, he's like 22. So for him, he doesn't have cable. So now he could actually watch HBO and see AEW Dynamite as well as old pay-per-views you miss. I do agree with you. I think that still charging for pay-per-views is, especially with WWE creating the standard of the PLE as part of the package, I think might hurt them a little bit. Having said that, though, WWE, they're basically the Walt Disney of wrestling. They have all these characters. They have a plethora of characters. They have a plethora of content. There's so much stuff people want to see. You want to go back, watch Stone Cold. You want to go back, watch Macho Man. You can do that. AEW doesn't have that yet. They literally bought the ROH library. They're still trying to get a deal for a Ring of Honor. They mostly got the ROH library too, I feel like, to kind of bolster them getting a deal like this on HBO, because I feel like the ROH library is probably going to be right there on that. Their main issue right now is whether there's two ways to look at it. It's either A, they should have never signed CM Punk, or B, they should have made the Young Bucks wrestle them, because in my opinion, AEW, as much as I've been a fan, and you can ask Ralph, I've been pretty ride or die with AEW for a long time. They have not gotten over CM Punk leaving. It's just, ever since CM Punk left, the trajectory has been going downhill, because there was that, even after Cody left and even after Jade left, there was this kind of time frame where AEW was at its quote unquote peak, in my opinion, where it was like people were talking about it, people were interested, they just created Collision, Punk came back, no one ever thought Punk would come back, all this opportunity, and then the Punk thing went south so quickly. Between his injuries and between just various BS that, to me, if you're choosing between the Young Bucks and Punk, AEW need to choose Punk. I don't know why they did that. Or Jack Perry and Punk, it's a no-brainer. They just need to figure out some way to, I wouldn't say get over the Punk thing, but it's just that dug them in such a hole between attendance, between interest. Pretty much all numbers for them have gone down to an extent since Punk left. And they're still, but to me, it's still a growing company. I don't view this as like, a lot of people be like, oh, they're going to go out of business, blah, blah. I don't view them going out of business. I just think that they're at a position in time where they need to figure out something else. Because right now, Tony holding all the booking and whoever he has helping him is just not working out. I don't give two shits about the Continental Classic.
Right.
The match they wrestled for the Continental Classic was amazing. I don't care. I don't like, one of the things I used to like about AEW was less belts. There's too many belts now. So do I think that their streaming deal is going to help the value of AEW? Yeah, but they have a lot of other issues they need to address to really get back to where they were, because they're still growing and there's a lot of things that they could do, but it's just utilizing certain people better, and just better overall booking seems to be the main issue.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's unfair to blame AEW's downfalls all on Punk leaving because, I mean, again, it's just horrible, horrendous dog shit booking. Well, first off, you were talking about HBO Max, so you think you're going to be watching more AEW now with Max?
Yeah.
Go back. Will you DVR AEW now?
Yeah, I DVR AEW. It's just I don't have access to watch it like where I consume most of my television.
Like on your phone?
No, most of the TV I watch is in my room versus like the cable I have on a different thing down in the kitchen downstairs. So I can't really like easily watch AEW as much unless I'm just chilling downstairs. I did watch it.
So you're not a big enough AEW fan to walk downstairs and watch it?
No, I watch it from time to time. It's just, again, like
Yeah.
it hasn't been as
Yeah.
good. It has,
No,
like, I'm a
I know.
realist, and you know me, like I'm an
Yeah.
AEW fan. I'm not going to sit here and just switch allegiances. Like I like both. To me, the fact that AEW and WWE are both here is good for wrestling. It's good for business. In my opinion, WWE is better for AEW being here. But again, having it on HBO Max, having all the old stuff they've done accessible, being able to watch old pay-per-views, there's a huge demographic of people like my godson and his friends who just don't watch because they don't have cable.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be same thing with Raw on Netflix. It's going to be the same thing with that too. It's not exclusive to AEW. I just think this streaming generation is going to create a lot more fans than the current generation because it's just so much more accessible.